What is good, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh video, and we just finished up YCS Houston, and just like the last YCS of the year, when they did the last ban list, and we got the live review by Jerome at the YCS at the end of the finals, we got it again. We got it again, and this has happened effective tomorrow. The new limited and forbidden list. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, this is ice. Like, we're going to quickly go over the cards. I've already seen the list because unfortunately I was at work, but I didn't want to miss out. I couldn't even like top off as much as I want to because this list is kind of crazy. This is a fantastic list. I don't know what to say. Like, they cooked. KONAMIIII cooked with this list. This is an actual good list where I don't feel like, oh, something got left out or if this feels bad. It's like, no, this feels actually really, really good. And let's quickly go over the changes, and then I'm going to go over and give my thoughts on the changes. But as we see here, starting with the unlimited, we have monkey board, perfectly fine. Pendulum doesn't do anything. Eva, once again, Drytron is not even playing this anymore. This is actually now regulated back to fairy support because Drytron doesn't even play because I know the new 2. I think that card locks you into like machine rituals, so we don't really have to worry about the ultimate builds anymore. It's just not, I don't think, as viable as it was. It's definitely not. Dangerous Tsunoco, Jackalope, and Cyberjar. Cyberjar being at 3, it's whatever. It's Cyberjar. It's like I don't know who is still sitting here being afraid of Cyberjar. The danger monsters, once again, I think I was mentioning this yesterday when I did my Stampede, but I did like the Stampede set list, and I was mentioning these guys saying, like, you know, once again, no one really plays these cards much anymore. They're okay. They're back at 3. They're not really going to do so much. Danger cards haven't really done so much in a while. Like, yeah, it's like whatever. But overall, you know, the elements are kind of like in the whatever. But the next part, the semi-limited is where things get crazy. Look at this semi-limited list. Starting for the top, we have Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. This is back at 2. This has been at 1 since I think 2019 or 2020, after, like, you know, Thunder Dragon, Guard Dragon, crazy combos to the balls to the walls, like combos. We're doing crazy stuff when these were at 3, 60 card pile decks. This is back at 2, and just in time because it's got a reprint. So this is where things get kind of nuts. But X Ryzeal, Ice Ryzeal, and Sword Ryzeal, all at 2. This is interesting. This hurts their grind game a lot because you're no longer, you know, typically it used to be 3 X, 3 Ice, and then depending on which version you're playing, what you're playing 2 or 3 Sword Ryzeal. Now the follow-up is so much worse. So if you have a hard time closing out games, it's going to get a lot harder. These are all at 2. You have less starters now. B, you have to kind of fill your deck with something else because it's going to get a little bit harder. Maybe you have to fill out with board breakers or some other cards to help, but this is painful. This hurts. This definitely lowers the consistency of Ryzeal. And we haven't even got to the other part of this, but this definitely hurts Ryzeal. You know, now you have less to search. You know, even though they all search each other still, you still have that consistency, you just have less of it. And now they're all at 2. And knowing next list, I can imagine X getting set to 1 next list, or possibly even banned, depending on how things, you know, play out in the next 3 or 4 months. But all three of them going to 2 at the same time is nuts. And I applaud KONAMIIII for doing this. No one really expected them to just go out and just outright hit cards they just printed, but they did. They did, like X, Ice, and Sword. They just went ahead and hit all of them. They did not care. They just went ahead and hit all of them. And the same goes for the other, for contemporary Malice. Both Dormouse and White Rabbit and Mouse and Underground all hit to 2. This is also just very, very crazy. Though the Malice hits, these Malice hits are kind of harsh. But it's kind of funny because I know the new Agnister support comes out very soon in Alliance Insight. So I think that's probably what they're expecting and what they're waiting for. But wow, to poor us White Rabbit and the field stunted too. Oh, I know they're gonna get some more support. Same thing with Ryzeal. So I know it's like the Star Ryzeal, and like they get the, and then you got the Mouse and Mirror. the Malice Mary comes out soon, so we'll see how much this changes, but this definitely lowers the consistency, especially when Malice hurts, I think even worse, because the girls can't special summon themselves unless they're banished. Compared to the Ryzo cards, where if they have meet their condition, they can just summon themselves out. So this is where things get a little bit weird for Malice, because Malice is already a deck that hasn't been performing as well as Ryzo, because we just watched YCS Houston, it was won by Memento. This is really interesting, and I'm kind of seeing like how we adapt to this. Morphing Jar going to 2, no one cares. Well, why was this card at 1 for as long as it was? Snake Eye, Ash, and Poplar. This one makes me happy. I'm a avid Snake Eyes fan. I still play the deck, even though like it was kind of buns, but I still love the deck. Ash and Poplar being at 2 makes me very happy. It makes the deck a lot more consistent. Poplar is no longer a brick. That feels good, because seeing, opening Bonfire plus Poplar is the worst feeling in the world. And now that you have multiple Poplar, your Snake Eye Ash, you have multiple Ashes, you have multiple Poplars, meaning that if they get banished, you still have follow-up plays that you can still do, so that way that, you can still play through things. I wonder what this will do for Snake Eyes, because Azamina is still around. If you notice, there's a lack of Fiendsmith cards on here too, which we'll talk about later. But this is really good. I like this. I like the fact that they're just not keeping these cards on the list. And I kind of wish that was for some other cards that were mentioned here in this shortly. But I like the fact that they brought these back next, after a few lists. I like the fact that we get that consistency for the fire decks. It's nice to see this. I know like Original Sinful Spoils was banned, and I think they kind of realized like when they banned Original Sinful Spoils, it was kind of like why did you ban this at this point, which is why they brought these back to 2. Which, depending on how things go, maybe they get brought back to stream, or even if OSS may come back, who knows? But I don't really expect OSS to come back, at least not yet, because I think fire decks are still really strong, depending on what they hit next. Unchained Soul Savrara, I called this one, originally I thought this would go back to 3, this finally got back to 2. This getting hit to 1 was kind of dumb in the first place. This was one of those cards where it's like, really, you put this to 1 because why again? And it's like, now it's back at 2. It just took a little bit longer than expected, but back at 2. Welcome back. And then the next one, White Dragon Bifon Burster. Once again, just like Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, a card that's been limited for like forever. And now they're both back at 2. Honestly, it feels illegal to be playing these without more than 1 at this point, because I'm just so used to playing these at 1 each. I don't know how I feel about playing 2 of each. I feel like I'll just brick a lot more unless I play like a 60 card deck, but just like loading up Lights and Darks, but we don't have Chaos Ruler. We don't have Chaos Ruler anyway, or many good ways to like build these cards. So it's like, I think I'll still stick, well, unless there's some type of crazy change, I'll stick with these being at 1/1. Just because I hate breaking on these so much. But those are the semi-limits. Crazy. The limits get even crazier. Judas Worm, good. It's at 1. I'm sick of seeing this card at multiples. I play it. I hate seeing this card at multiple. Judas Worm need to go to 1. I'm happy this happened. This should have happened a little bit ago. But now it's like, you have to play, if you want to play more Bystials, you have to play the worst ones. You have to play Baldrake, or you have to play Sarnir. And this is good. This is very good change, because once again, just everyone playing, 1 Magma, 2 Judas Worm is every single time. It was just becoming too, main decking this was just too consistent. It was just too good. Now this is at 1. We have 1 less Bystial. The second best Bystial is now at 1. Same thing with Magma, still at 1. I like this change a lot. This is a good change. Dimension Shifter, thank God. Oh, this should have went to 1 so long ago. It's not even funny. This card is like Mystic Mine, where it's just like Konami just decides to leave it most of the TCG leave this untouched for so long, and it just hurts so many formats. Like after Cashier form, I don't know why this card even wasn't even banned at that point, because this card was just toxic. Still is very toxic. Malice, once again, just the best shifter deck, and then seeing Shifter and just being able to combo under Shifter, it's just not very healthy. And it's like, it's like the silver bullet for so many graveyard centric decks. I know some people like, oh, it's the card that you use to, the necessary evil, if you will, type of card. And it's like, okay, so we should be able, so Konami keeps making graveyard centric decks. We want to play these graveyard centric decks because a lot of them are really fun strategies. Like, believe it or not, there's a lot of really fun graveyard centric strategies that are not overpowered or overbearing. And then, you know, we had this very powerful meta and meta defining and meta shifting, no pun intended, a shifting card that, you know, could literally just say in some cases, I drop this, I win on the spot. You can't play anything. GG's, you're done. You're dead. And that's just not fun. Like, these type of cards are just insane. Now, with being a Saki one of is not very fun either, but I would rather it not being multiple. I'd rather see this less consistent. Preferably, I hope this just gets straight up banned eventually. It's just a card that does not need to be here. I'm being very honest with you. Like, I know some people's like, oh, you know, I don't want to play Great into decks. It's like, that's what Konami's giving to us. It is what it is. But yeah, rest in piss, Bozo. Masterpiece, the True Draco Saiyan King. This card's been banned for almost for like 7 years, I think. It got banned in it got banned in May of 2022, right before Sky Striker came up, because I was playing True Draco at the time, and I was devastated. I was hurt when this card got banned, because it was just like, and then after that is like when True Draco took that sharp decline and started going into just becoming a vehicle for just floodgates, and it was like, this is whack. That's pretty much the only time I dropped the deck, because it's just like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna play Demise floodgates, and it's like, this is disgusting. I hate playing floodgates like that, especially when it gives me a strategy. Whack. But at the time I couldn't really afford too many decks, so it was just like I had to play it until better came. But Masterpiece, I felt this card was on here for just too long. It's a good card, but now it's just like, what is this card doing? You get a pop, it's immune to two types of card types at the same time. I mean, that could be good, but then at the same time, you have to be playing continuous spells and traps. And on top of that, the True Dracos, like, once they don't find monsters, they have a hard time. And if you start Diagram, and everyone, and we're still in the format, you would just have too many ways to stop them. Droll cooks them, Ogre cooks them, Ash cooks them. You just have too many ways to stop this deck, and Masterpiece is like, okay, cool, I have a Masterpiece, like, cool, I guess? It doesn't really do too much, and I don't really think that it's that great of a card anymore. You know, in a vacuum, sure, it's strong, but now with how things go, now, like, okay, it's not doing much of anything. Circular came back. I don't like this card. I really don't like this card. I still don't like this card. It's one of those cards where it's just like, when a deck or decks focus on, it's just like, it's so much concentration power. It's like, when you don't have it, it's just like, everything's just horrible. It falls apart. When you do have it, it just does too much because of the quality of card. This card quality matched in the circular was such a stupid card. Now at one, with the next ban, this make a lot of sense though, because of what they did ban, which we'll go in and take a look for, like the bigger Cyrus Wumble combo decks. But now this one is really surprising. Rhizio Detonator going to 1 already is actually kind of wild. This is terrifying. Rhizio might possibly just straight up fall off the map now. I'm gonna be very honest with you, because Detonator at 1, Metatron is a card that we see people play, because, you know, you just kind of side in that, you sided a Detonator, you summon out your own Detonator, you banish both Detonators. That's it. Like, this Metatron just cooks this deck now. Straight up, by itself, cooks the deck. You lose your best card straight up, but the best card you have, your extra monster, just gets cooked. Detonator going to limit already is not something I expected to see. This is like something I expect to see like the next list. The fact that this is already here, I think Rhizio's going to go down pretty harshly. I think people may start switching to different decks. This is kind of that kind of pain that hurts. That one hurts a lot, especially with all the other main decks going to 2. It's really crazy that just happened. Bonfire going to 1, we all expected this. This is a Cell 7 Tachyon. I don't like the fact that Bonfire went to 1. I don't like the thought process of knowing the fact that it's just like, oh yeah, so we just printed 7 Tachyon, therefore we have to put this to 1 because of Rhizio, because, you know, searching for Ice Rhizio and going full combo is kind of, you know, crazy. But then this is also just strictly better than 7 Tachyon, in my opinion. I don't like Tachyon cards. I don't really like the 7 Tachyon card. I don't like it at all. I know for some people that are like, oh, you know, it's like, you know, I don't feel like paying $70 for like another card. They're 3-0. It's like, whatever. I don't care. Well, I'll continue playing my 1 Bonfire. Brilliant Fusion came back. This is nice. This is really nice. I think we are far gone from like when Brilliant Fusion was like at its peak during Thunder Dragon format. I don't really think that the extra normal summon really makes that difference. It can be ashed, and this card gets ashed. You only have one of it, and it doesn't do anything anymore. It's just a continuous spell just sitting there cooking you. I mean, for the Gem Knight, I think they get support. I can't remember if they do or not, but it's like, it's okay. I think it's fine at 1. It just got a reprint. I think it's okay. I don't think it's going to break anything, really. You know, I mean, most people are just using it as an engine. I mean, Snow is banned. Most toxic cards are banned. So Brilliant Fusion is kind of like cool. And it's like, decent card, the extra normal summon, but I don't know what card that really requires an extra normal summon, just because it's one of those cards where it's like, everything just special summons itself in this day and age, so the extra normal, I think in most cases, it doesn't even matter. I mean, in Gem Knight maybe, but most decks probably not. Frostout Designator and Talents. These two, I had a feeling this was going to happen eventually, and now it didn't happen. Designator Talents are two of those cards where they're just insanely good power spells. Designator, once again, quick play spell. You banish a card from your deck, you call the name, and you negate it for the turn. That's really good. That's a really good card. It's like, you know, okay, that was called by copies 2 through 4. If you play Call by as well, which you probably would, I definitely do. Call by is a crazy card. And then this also hits things from the deck. This card went to 1, deserved. It's a very, 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 very strong card. It's one of those cards that shouldn't exist past the number 1 or ban. But I don't think they're going to ban it anytime soon, but I think at 1 is fine. This was set to happen. Honestly, I expected this to happen a lot sooner, though. Like, after Snake Eyes format, because this card was in, like, every main deck, and it's just like, oh, yeah, by the way, we can cross out targets. Oh, Nib doesn't do anything. Oh, Imperm, Ash, Failure. You know, we play the same cards, cross out, send it, cool. Talents also. Talents is an insane card. This card is a war. I was going to make a video called these cards are war crime, whereas war is going to be Talents, cross out, and when called by. And I shouldn't have made that video because I would definitely would have called this right, minus like called by it, but Talents is such a good card. It's Pot of Greed, it's, you know, Forceful Sentry, and it's Change Your Heart. Even better than Change Your Heart because it doesn't target. It just takes it. So it's a non-targeting take, which is really, really, really good. And this is where this card just is so good. It's a going first card, it's a going second card, opening Talents, ripping from the hand, getting full hand knowledge is crazy because you can just choose to how to play around everything, drawing 2 cards, especially if you cross out Talents into cards, especially if you don't need anything else, you have all your extensions just grabbing into more hand traps. Cards in the say. Really good card. Go figure. This is at 1. Burst still at 3, so you have ways to search it still, but at the same time, this card, I don't know if it's going to get banned eventually, but it's definitely going to be at 1. It's going to be a very powerful one of, but it definitely does not need to be in multiples. Let's put it like that. Now for the Forbidden. This is where things get interesting. Nightmare Griffin, good. Like, I'll be honest with you, nothing ever good comes from Nightmare Griffin. Anytime my Nightmare Griffin shows up, it's for something that is incredibly degenerate. There is never, it's like one of those cards that when you always see it, it's for something incredibly stupid. Floodgate setup. It in itself is a floodgate. Then you can also send something off, reset floodgates, reset cards. Because you pitch a card, you could go ahead and send me what you want to pitch, you could send something, and just reset some cards. Mouse was using this to lock people out of the game, pretty much lock people out of activating effects, which is just toxic as hell. Red Bozo, we don't care. Link Decoder is where things get interesting. This is a generic Cyberse hit, but also a hit to Malice, because you can no longer just normal summon, Link Decoder, Druid's Worm, banish, special summon. You now have 3 bodies on the board, and then it brings itself back after you link into a Malice monster into, like, you know, either a Heart Cryptor or Whitebinder. So this hurts Malice a lot, like a lot, because you don't have a reliable link one to go into now. This is a really, really scary card to lose. And I'm gonna see, you know, once again, Malice does get new cards. Malice do get new cards. I don't think they're out of the water, but it's roughing. it's just a little bit rough. This is kind of painful. Next card, Abyss Dweller. Oh my god, this one feels so good. Just like Shifter, this is a card that's being kept in formats, and it's just kind of headache inducing to think that it's like KONAMIIII. You see what this card does. You see what this card, every single time you have a good format, and everyone's just like, oh, let me just load in my Silver Bullet to kill the graveyard deck. And it's just like Abyss Dweller is like that card that's been doing this since like what, 2014. It does not need to be here anymore. Thank God it's banned. It's gone. Finished. Dead. And it does not need to come back. This card is trash. I hate this card. And I've been saying this card needs to be banned for a long time now, and now we finally got that. And then the last card on the list is Bahamut Shark. Kind of sad because I like playing Tailmint, and Bahamut Shark Toad was pretty common. But yeah, no, Bahamut Shark is gone, meaning that Toad plays are off the table for most decks, and I'm pretty sure this is the Mermail hit. This is definitely the Mermail hit because Mermail is also like a really good deck, especially now that Dweller is gone, and Shifter's at one. I mean, I could see more Mermail plays happen, but their end boards get a lot weaker because they no longer have Bahamut Shark. Unfortunately, and I feel bad for my Shark brethren, for the Shark boys out there, but this also hurts Shark a lot, and I mean a lot. I honestly would rather have them just, for the Shark players alone, because they just got their support in Rage of the Abyss, I would much have rather them just hit Toad and just ban Toad completely, rather than hit Bahamut Shark. But now, like, if your deck cannot hard make Toad, Toad usage just kind of drops off. I don't know what deck is really making Toad, like hard making Toad that frequently, but Bahamut Shark, you know, 2 level 4 waters is the easiest way of getting this done. Like, you can do it in Terrorlimit, you can do it in Marincess, you can do it in, you know, Merle Atlantean. But Bahamut Shark, and Shark, right now the Sharks don't really have their guy to go into. Bahamut Shark just being such a good card for them, an amazing card, really. Being banned is kind of weird. It is kind of weird. I don't know how I really feel about that. I would rather have just been Toad. They should have banned Toad altogether. I mean, yeah, but it's like now it's like, you know, you just remove it. But yeah, that is it. This list is really good. This goes ahead and this lowers the ceiling for a lot of decks. The Malice Unbreakable board, the Yugioh going into multiple detonators, or just, you know, going to detonator. Even if you Melatonis one, they just could have another one ready to go. You play 3 of those things. Then you have 2 less detonators. And then you have a card like Melatonis just kind of running on that just got reprinted too. So you have full access to this card. Now that makes sense why they reprinted it. For this very reason, now we understand why they reprinted it. Yugioh lost consistency, and they lost a lot of power due to only having one of their best monster. Malice lost the best link they had, the link 1, because, you know, once again, link decoder into whatever, you know, they lost their best link 1. This makes it super hard for Malice now, because if they don't have a way to get another body, like, what do they do? They're so normal, so reliant. And now Druid Swarm is also at 1, so you don't have multiple Druid Swarms. You have to play the worst. You have to play, you know, the quote unquote bad Bystials now to go ahead and you know, you have to play the bad Bystials now, which kind of sucks for them. And then Griffin, you don't have the Griffin lock with the Abao now anymore either, which is good because Griffin was just degenerate. No one likes Griffin, be honest with you. I don't. But yeah, but then yeah, this limit list. Circular. So let's quickly talk about Circular though. I don't like Circular, but I feel like, yeah, I'm not sure how much Mathmech is really gonna do, or like Cyber's Piles. I'm not a big fan of Cyber's Piles because I'm not a big fan of like the whole let's make this big old unbreakable board that does like 20 billion negates. I don't really like decks like that. I like decks that have like a bit more of a diverse portfolio, but I guess Circular at 1 is kind of okay. I don't expect it to really do too much, especially now that it's being introduced back into an era where we have Mulch Army Flawless, which actually cooks Mathmech and Cyber's Piles, because once again, all they do is link summon from the extra deck, and if you can't make things from the extra deck without giving your opponent 20 billion draws, like the power ceiling just lowers. It makes it so much harder because they're not doing anything. Yep, and then this this semi-limited list is hilarious. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 cards semi-limited. It's crazy. And 1, 2, 3, and you lose, total of 3 cards from here. And they also then now also lose 3 cards. This is interesting. This is a very interesting list. I like this list a lot. I can't wait to see, what else happens, what else goes on. But yeah, this is the list. This has been a really crazy, crazy list. I like this a lot. Connie, sometimes we give you guys a lot of crap, but in this case, I will give you guys your flowers on this one. You cooked with this ban list. I think you cooked very well. There's just a lot of really good hits right here, restructuring and rebalancing the formats. And before like we get the next set of cards, we get soon we're gonna get Yummy K9 and Dragon Tales. And I'm probably going to be playing Dragon Tales, Fusion Archetype. I am very biased towards fusions. I'm picking up like the shit all stuff from Stampede whenever I get a chance to, but I can't wait to see how the format shapes up. The lower power, the overall lower power level. I can't wait to see how things change up and what decks can, kind of make a comeback. If decks can make a comeback, it'd be kind of nice to see Snake Eyes play again. I think I saw a player yesterday playing Snake Eyes Fire King, which is pretty funny. Because I still love that deck. I still play it. It's still very fun. Inconsistent, but very, very fun. But guys, let me know what you think. What do you feel like was missing? What do you feel like, should have came? Actually, wait, before I forget, because I'm going to forget. Fiend Smith. This before I go. Fiend Smith did not get a single hit on this list. Not Trap, not Engraver, nothing. Which means, and I honestly feel like KONAMIIII is just going to bury that deck next list. I feel like that deck is going to just get absolutely cooked on the next list in some way, somehow. Now, before I maybe light hit and big hit later, I think Engraver goes to 1 in the next. I think Engraver's going to 1. I think, Track's going to get going to 1. I don't know what they'll do next. I don't think they're going to ban Moon next, but I feel like Engraver is not going to stay out. Not going to stay at multiples after this next list. Considering that they did in such a single thing, there's a reason for that. Even getting semi-limited did not. So I think Feast is cooked next to the list. Quite possibly he's going to get cooked. But anyway, guys, talk to you guys later. See you guys soon, and have a wonderful night. Stay safe, like and subscribe. Peace.